Hello everyone, my name is Karan. Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to look at the solution of the problem, that is minimum number of jumps. First of all, let us start by understanding the question. What does question say? Given an array of n integers array where each element represents the maximum length of jump that can be made forward from that element. This means if array of I is x, then we can jump any distance y such that y is less than equal to x. We'll have a look at the example. Things will be more clear. Okay. Find the minimum number of jumps to reach the end of the array, that is last index, starting from the first element. It means initially you are at index 0. If an element is 0, then you cannot move through that element. So basically, if let's say I am currently at the ith index and the value at the ith index is 5. So starting from that ith index, I can make a jump of either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Maximum I can make a jump of 5. So from ith index, I can go to I plus 5 maximum. Then from there, I can see the value at that index and again make the move accordingly. And in this way, starting from 0th index, I need to reach n minus 1 index. And it might be possible that if from a particular index the value at that index is 0, it means you cannot make a jump from that index. Then in that case, if let's say if you are not able to reach the last index, that is n minus 1, in that case you might need to return minus 1. Okay. And what you need to find is find the minimum number of jumps to reach the end of the array. So now depending upon different configuration and different combinations, the number of jumps required to reach the end might be different. So we need to tell in the optimal case what are the minimum number of jumps required to reach the end. Okay. Return minus 1 if you can't reach the end of the array. For example, if you have total 11 positions and here the number of jumps required are 3. So the from the first jump from first element to the second element, so from here you will come here with value 3. Now from here we jump to the fifth element. From 3 we go here because we can make a jump of either 1 or 2 or 3 because here the value is 3. So I go to 9. Now from we jump to the fifth element with value 9, and from here we will jump to the last element. From here I can make a jump of at max 9. So I can make a jump of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So what I can do is from 1 I can go to 3, from 3 to 9, and from 9 I can go to this 9. So in 3 steps I reached n minus 1. That is the optimal. So output is 3. Similarly, you can have a look at this example. The output is 2. You don't need to read input or print anything. Your task is to complete the function minimum jumps, which takes the array and its size n as input parameters and returns the minimum number of jumps. If not possible, then you need to return minus 1. The expected time complexity is big of n and expected space complexity is constant. So now see here, there are various methods to solve this problem, but since here the expected time complexity is big of n, so I'm going to discuss that method only. So what here we will do is, and the auxiliary space is constant. So here what we will do is, we will maintain that from the current jump, what is the range of elements that are accessible. Okay, from the last jump. And once we have exhausted that range, we need to make a new jump. In order for that new jump, what is the new range of elements I can access? So after one jump, what are the range of elements I can access? After two jumps, what are the range of elements I can access? Now the second jump can be from any of the element which were accessible after the first jump. Okay. But we are not looking at that because we want the minimum number of jumps. We do not want the exact from where to where we jump. Okay. So from after the first jump, what are the range of elements accessible? Then from there, what are the range of elements accessible? From there, with the help of third jump, what are the range of elements accessible? And we will see that the last element comes in which range, minimum. Okay, which minimum range, like whether it comes in the range of 3 jumps, then we will return 3. It might be confusing, but we'll dry run on this so you will get a very clear idea. So for example, here you have 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 2, 6, 7, 6, 8, and 9. Now you see here, I will maintain a variable max reach, which will tell me what is the maximum reachable or what is the maximum covering index. Okay. Right now it is 0 because I am starting from here. Then I will also maintain one index, that is last index, which will be initially 0. What does this last index denote? It denotes what is the last index which you can access with this jump. So let's say if I'm so if I have made 2 jumps, so what is the last index which I can access by 2 jumps? Or if I have made 3 jumps, what is the last index which I can access by 3 jumps? because when I reach at that index, last index, now I need to make a new jump. Are you getting my point? So that is for maintaining that. Okay, so one is max reach, one is last index, and one more thing which I need to maintain here is number of jumps. So initially that would be 0. Now I am starting from here, right? So from here, see, what I will do is, now I will iterate my I from here till here. Okay, now I am at this index. So from this index, what is the maximum reachable index? This index. Okay, see, when I iterate my I, my max reach will be updated like this. Max reach is equals to max of max reach comma I plus array of I, because max reach is the maximum reachable index we have found till now. Now you are currently at ith index, and from here you can make a jump of the value array of I. So till which index you can go? I plus array of I. Okay, so from here it is one size jump, so after one jump I can reach here. Okay, so my max reach will become one index. The last index which I can access through this max, so I will not be updating last index right now. Okay, so let's not worry about that. And number of jumps will be increased by 1. Actually that also I will not increase it right now. So basically I'm trying to tell you the process, so I'm not increasing that right now. Okay, now you see here, what is your maximum reachable index? Now whenever your I is equal to last index, whenever your I is equals to last index, that is the time of making a jump. Why? Because what I told, I is the index which I am moving one after the other and checking what is the maximum reachable index. What was last index? Last index was the index which I can reach the which I can maximum reach by the number of jumps I have taken till now. Number of jumps taken till now is 0. The last index which I can access with 0 jumps is 0, and currently my I equals to 0. It means it's time to make a jump. So when you make a jump, you'll increment this count, and your last index will be, it will be the last index which is accessible after making one number of jumps. So after making one number of jumps, what is the last index accessible? 1. So this will become 1. Okay, now you come here, your I comes here, this value is 3. So your max reach will become this is index 1, right? This is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So your last index will become 1 plus 3, that is 4, because you can maximum reach till here, right? So this is your range of elements which you can reach. So max reach will become 4. Now is your I equal to last index? Yes, the last index was the maximum index which is accessible after one number of jumps, and currently I am at index I, that is 1 only. Now if I want to go at second index, I need to make a jump. So my number of jumps will become 2, and the last index accessible after making 2 number of jumps is how much? Is equal to the max reach, is equal to the max reach which value now. So max reach value is 4, so that will become 4. Now my I will come here. Okay, now my I will come here. Now max reach will get updated to what? This is index 2 and this is 5, so 2 plus 5 is 7. So I can reach till here. Okay, after 3 number of jumps. Okay, so this was after 1 number of jumps, this was after 2 number of jumps, and this will be after 2 number of jumps. Okay, so this will be after the, so after making second jump, you can reach till here. Now if you make a jump from here to anywhere, you can maximum reach here. This is what we have found till now. It may be updated, right? So max reach will become how much? 7. Now is your I equal to last index? No, your last index is 4. After 2 jumps, the maximum index which you can reach is 4. So and your I is currently what? 2. So 2 is not equal to 4. It means if you want to move from 2 to 3, you do not need to make a jump. In the current jump only, that is using 2 jumps, you can also reach here. So I'm not increasing the number of jumps. Okay, now from this, what is the max reach from here? This is 3 plus 8, that is 11. So this will be updated to 11. It means this value after 3 number of jumps you can access till index 11. Okay, because still we are observing the values which were accessible after 2 number of jumps. So this after 3 number of jumps, what maximum reach is available, that can get updated, right? So first it was here, now it got updated to 11 index, which is not there, right? Because we have only till 10 index. Now your I is how much? 3, and your last index accessible after 2 jumps is 4. So I do not need to jump, I can simply go here. Now from here the max reach will get updated to 4 plus 9, that is 13. It is saying that after 3 number of jumps you can maximum reach till 13 index. Okay, now your I is 4 and the last index accessible after 2 number of jumps which you are accessing right now is also 4. So now it's time to make a jump, because now you are moving from this range to this range. So your number of jumps will become 3 and the last index accessible will become equal to max reach. Okay, so that will become equal to the 13, right? And as soon as this value gets updated and you see that the max reach is more than when you make a jump, and at that time if the max reach is more than or equal to n minus 1, it means now you do not need to traverse further. You can say that these are the number of jumps which are required. So if you closely observe, from here from here if you make a jump you come here, from here if you make a jump you can come in this range, and from here if you make a jump you can come in this range. So total 3 number of jumps are required for this. Okay, don't worry about the code, just understand the flow. When you look at the code you will be able to relate with the flow. Okay, now let's also look at this example, because in that case we will not be able to reach at the end, so we'll get a better idea. So it is 1 2 1 0 3 6 and 1. Okay, now you see here, from here you can only make a jump here. From here you can either make a jump here or here. Let's say you made a jump here or you made a jump here. Now from here also you can go till here only. After reaching here you cannot make a jump because this value is 0. So in that case you cannot reach the end, you need to return -1. So now let's dry run this on this example. Okay, so let me write it again. So you have n equals to 7 and you have 1 2 1 0 3 6 and 1. Now your max reach is how much initially? 0, because you have not made any jumps, and last index which is accessible after 0 number of jumps is 0, and the number of jumps is also how much? 0. So initially you are at this position. Okay, now your max reach will get updated to 0 plus 1, that is 1, and your index I is equal to last index, so it's time to make a jump. So your jump will become 1 and the last accessible index will become equal to max reach, so this will also become equal to 1. So now you are here. Now the max reach will become, this is first index and the value here is 2, so 1 plus 2 is 3. Now your last index is 1 and I is also 1. So if your I is equal to last index, it's time to make a jump. These are the elements which are accessible from the jump. So your number of jumps will become 2 and the last index accessible will become 3, because after 2 number of jumps you can maximum reach here, right? So your last index will become 3. Now I is equals to 1 and last index accessible is this. So you move forward, right? You go here. Now I equals to 2. The max reach will remain 3 only, because this index is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 will remain 3 only. And your this index is what? 2 and the last index accessible is 3. So you will not make a jump, right? So now you move on to the next index. Now here the max reach will remain 3 only, because 0 plus 3 is how much? 3 only. But here the I value is how much? 3, and the last index accessible after 2 jumps is also how much? 3. So it's time to make a jump. But if your I is equal to last index and it is equal to max reach, because see, when you make a jump your last index gets updated to max reach. Now here I want to make a jump because I is equal to last index, so my last index will become equal to max reach, which is equal to 3. It means with I want to make a jump, but with 3 number of jumps also I can maximum reach till index 3 only. I cannot go further. Why? Because here it is value is 0, and for all the values before that also I was not able to move further this index 0, right, where the value is 0. So what happened is my I became equal to last index, so I needed to make a jump, so I increased my jump count, and my last index will become equal to max reach. And I assume that my last index will go further because my max reach will be more. But if max reach is equals to I, that is max reach is equal to current index, means with this many number of jumps, the maximum the maximum reachable index is I. Okay, but from I need to make a jump because I has become equal to last index, but max reach is also equal to I. It means I need to make a jump, but I cannot move further than this. So whenever my I equal to last index but my max reach is equals to I, then my last index will not increase, and in that case I will make my number of jumps equals to -1. I will break down the process because I cannot make a move, and I'll return -1. Okay, now let's look at the code. So if we look at the code, then I have taken max reach equal to 0 because initially when I'm at index 0, the maximum reachable index is 0. I have taken one flag variable, but that is of no use. You can neglect it. I have taken one variable I. Number of jumps is 0. Last index is the variable which is the last accessible index with the current number of jumps which we have. It is also initially 0 because if number of jumps are 0, the last index accessible is 0. If n equals to 1, if there is only one index, that is first index and last index are same, then there is no need to jump, so you can directly return 0. Zero number of jumps are required. Otherwise, from I equals to 0 to n minus 1 you go, max reach is equal to max of max reach comma array of I plus I, and if I equals to last index, it's time to make a jump to move to the next range of indexes accessible. But if your max reach is equals to I, are you getting my point? Your I was equal to last index, so I need to make a jump, but my max reach was also equal to I. It means I cannot reach further than this index. Then in that case, I can make number of jumps as -1 and break. Otherwise, my number of jumps will become one more, and my last accessible index after this many number of jumps will be the maximum reach at that position. Okay, and if maximum reach goes beyond n minus 1, it means using this many number of jumps I can reach the n minus 1 index, so I will immediately break, and finally I'll return number of jumps which will be either the number of jumps required to reach the end or -1 if this condition was encountered. The time complexity for this will be big of n because we are using one for loop, and the auxiliary space will be constant because we are not using any space. Now let's submit this code. Okay, so let's submit it. Okay, so we have solved this question successfully. I hope you have understood this solution completely. Thank you.